to the facade for the rumored Hatchet and Chains house over there. It says 9 Crooked Lane. They've added some broken stained glass pieces. They're drilling something.
So let's talk about kind of the changes that I've been hearing about Staying Screaming. Okay guys, we're back at Universal Studios Florida. It's time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2025 update. We have some announcements that just happened. We got a covered new Easter eggs, construction updates. Murdy's tweeting out all sorts of stuff again. We're on to our next goal of 78,000 subscribers, which we will unveil a new HHN prop. If you didn't know, we're so close to kind of like dethroning the official HHN YouTube channel. Half of you guys currently are not subscribed who watch the videos. We have a little challenge now. If we hit 76,000, we're gonna have a reward to show you guys, 78,000 and then 80,000. So I own one of the largest HHN collections in the world. So I'm gonna reveal like a jaw-dropping artifact to you guys every single one of those tiers that we hit. Like your mind is gonna be blown. I promise it'll be worth the wait, but we got this. So on that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights shirt of the day. This is very reminiscent of the prop that we revealed in yesterday's video. Highly suggest watching it. This is not the Orlando shirt. The director actually came to Hollywood for 1 year, a couple years later in 2006. So on that note, let's roll that commercial.
Nothing compares to real blood on film. It's the only way to really capture the emotion, the fear, the reality of what the victim is feeling. Because it's not just a movie. Was I excited when Universal, the studio that created the first great horror movies, asked me to produce their new Halloween Horror Nights? Of course I was. Look at the sets I have a chance to work on. They have atmosphere, they have character, they have realism. But when I showed Universal Studios Hollywood plans for my new Halloween Horror Nights production, they had second thoughts. It's in bad taste, they told me, but I could tell they were just getting nervous. They said it was too graphic, too real for their audiences. Graphic is good, I said. Real is what people want to see. Universal Studios Hollywood wouldn't listen. They barred me from the studio, kept me from casting my actors. They've tried to stop me from taking any part in their event. They've ruined all my planning, all of my work. And this project, which was going to be based on my live Hollywood experience, was going to be my masterpiece.
But I promise you this, I will settle the score with the people at Universal Studios Hollywood. There's nothing that will stop me from creating and filming the most realistic and terrifying Halloween event that Hollywood has ever seen. Nothing. I need great talent to complete my vision. Casting has begun. We'll see who I deem worthy of making the cut.
Welcome back. We're hoping for an IP announcement. We're gonna head over to 5 and Dime, see what's going on in there.
Here it is. Here's the new stage. So again, kind of like the stone stage from a couple days ago. Probably tonight they'll add in the distressing and the woodwork design with the speaker, but it's like that on both sides. But here it is. It's a cat. It is pretty much a copy and paste of that stage, and this one. So the only one that's honestly different is the stage over there, which we'll show off in a second. Here's a better shot of the back of the stained glass. So you can't see through the stained glass yet. They have not removed the plastic. If you kind of look through here, the plastic wrap covering is still on there. So that's why you can't see through the stained glass and see the shimmer. They'll probably take that off tonight.
But we have blood that has popped up here and right there, or it just could be part of the staining that happened. But we have new electrical that popped up by this. So it has not been hooked up yet. It goes underneath here for the guest walkways and then up the side of the building. There's a fence that has appeared next to the lighting right there. What is going on? But then also, we'll go see this in a second, the wiring is going up the trusswork onto the roof. Right there. So we're popping into 5 and Dime. Still Terrifier, but the crowd is forming.
Everybody's freaking out. They announced the Lagoon show.
So we have a new show announcement. Haunt-O-Phonic, a ghoulish journey. A ghost story is rising from its watery grave to haunt the Universal Studios Lagoon, featuring towering water screens and eerie music.
So we're back over here now. They still have to kind of finish distressing, and then we'll go around the side, see if there's anything new. Nothing new back there, but we have cords. We're gonna have electrical plugged in somewhere here. So let's follow these. See where they go. Pass by the mystery machine. Let's see. It's still going, still going. We're following more. It looks like it's leading to the other stage, but it's not plugged in with the other stage. So if you come over here, I got one of the boxes back here. So the wires are being run from all the way over there to that stage, from that stage to right here. It's all coiled up, then goes up the truss work and then onto the roof. Doc, what are these cables right here?
Oh, these cables are something that I'm hoping to tap into later on. Not for anything nefarious, don't worry.
Just a
They're
weather
not actually
experiment.
my design. Yes, just a weather experiment. 91% chance. Everything will be totally fine.
Well, good.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see what's going on with the other stage over there. Let's walk around this stage. This is the only stage that's slightly different than the others. This has like the stone concrete look to it. But let's loop around. What do we got? Anything? We have... Okay, we got the cords right there. Not plugged in, but where do they go? They come over here, cut through the trash cans, and then we're gonna have this to protect guests so they don't trip. Then it's gonna loop around the store right there, and then the cords go in here, right in there, in the little mystery hole. So this wire is running all the way around to that stage.
Okay, so no announcement right now for an IP house, but we did get an announcement for Nightmare Fuel. Show announcement, Nightmare Fuel Circus of Decay. This once vibrant circus has festered into an unending nightmare. It's a sinister spectacle of pyro, aerialists, and illusionists. Now, Ramon says this: I cannot wait for people to see what Charles Gray and the team have in store with this year's show. Charles Gray is, again, old school HHN, super talented, so I'm interested to see his take if he's in charge of the new show this year. 2 shows returning, which will really help out with crowds and everything, especially the crowds that are coming this year. But let's continue with our little construction update tour.
Let's hop into the HHN bar, see if they've changed anything or added anything. It looks about the same. Nothing has changed. This is how Murdy looks when he hears the word slash. So on that note, time for some Murdy tweet time.
I think it's John Murdy right there. John!
Okay, so John said this, circling back on Tuesday's announcement, Scarecrow is our 2022 house. Slash created an all-new original score. It's very different from some of the things we've done in the past and totally in style for the house. The house is located in the T-Pad, which is where Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in 2024. There's also a new themed Slash bar where the Weekend Bar was in 2024 with themed food and drink offerings. Cooking up a little surprise for that. Don't worry, it'll be impossible to miss once you get down there to the lower lot. Lastly, we will be releasing Volume 2 of Slash's music of Halloween Horror Nights. The limited edition vinyl album has cool new art. I wrote the dedication piece for the inner sleeve that will be on sale in the park during the event. While we're taking a break from our 6-year running collaboration of Universal Monsters, we are thrilled for Slash to once again be part of our event, and you can experience the monsters at Epic Universe now and Horror Unleashed in August, so they are definitely getting their due. And I'm very happy that HHN's focus on the Universal Monsters has evolved into these amazing new year-round attractions at Universal, making this old monster kid very happy to see this day come. But I still have ideas and even concept. You never know where this path may lead in the future. Thanks for supporting our vision for the monsters at HHN. I'll probably always be proudest of those projects and how they're received by you boys and ghouls. Storm then says this: can we expect anything new in this version of Scarecrow aside from the soundtrack, or it being a bit similar to Holidays 2023 with changes made to a new location / layout? John responds with yes. And then Albert says this: when you say in style for the house, does that mean this Scarecrow story will not be set in the Depression era? John says it is set in the Depression. I sent him some period music from that area to inspire what he created.
So over here, it says 9 crooked lanes. So a cat has 9 lives, and that's a little nod to that, and then crooked lanes. So what's going to be happening for this over here, you're gonna have a light that's gonna illuminate. There's no bulb in it, but on both sides it'll illuminate. And then right here, they're gonna attach what looks to be a giant gate. It's not a hinge, so the gate's not gonna swing, but it looks like they're gonna place a gate here and then a gate there, and then you will enter into the lane. They just moved it out here, and then throughout the coming days, they'll retouch it up with all the missing paint and everything. Oh, we can finally see what's going on down here. There's like the platform. You can see they're digging down. There's wood right there. And then all the dirt is kind of covered all the wires over there. So again, this is not supposed to be part of the scare zone, I believe. This is just them doing maintenance. But it does look like they're gonna place something maybe potentially right there. All right, we're coming over here. They got this little planter. That's new. They just kind of ripped everything up and put a planter there. But there's a new wire. As you know, they set up the lights for the truss work. But there's a new wire that's running back here and down there. Now that wire is going to be connecting all the way up the building. And then that little wire is going to go into the window right there. So there's a wire going from the window all the way down the wall back here. Okay. Wire's now coming along here and then going that way. So we can go over there and go see where it goes now. So again, this is the same wire that's coming from the window.
Where's the mystery wire going?
Let's go walk over by the media center. Now over on this pathway was the wire. So the wire continues there and goes up there into like that box right there. And then they have more wires coming from the box through here and then around the building. Then all those cords continue back here and then they go up the building. That's right there. All right, then over here, this set piece has popped up. It also looks like they're gonna attach something to the top. They've covered it with a little bit of mesh, but something's gonna go, I think, here and then be attached or bolted in right down there. So this has appeared right next to the speaker. Now there's another one of these pieces, but right down there. And then right here, another one of these set pieces has appeared. So I think they're gonna attach another set piece. It looks like it'll fit right in with this groove, and then they will bolt it in right there. So something is happening with this first set piece. We'll probably see it tonight pop up. And then over here, another one of these platforms has appeared. Again, something's going on top here, but there's 3 of these that popped up overnight. What is this clue above the speaker? Replenish. Orange mango, what does it mean? What does the bottle mean? A bunch of details got added overnight to the little cat shacks. As you know, yesterday we were talking about these are gonna be the boo holes. Now they've added a light here. You're gonna have the light. I'm guessing there's gonna be a trigger or something in there for the scare actor to hit. This light will go off and then shine on the scare actor. So you're gonna have this light right there. Then you're gonna have this light. This light is also shining kind of over here by this boo hole. But then we have a secondary light. So there's like 2 lights shining right there. And then we're gonna have a massive speaker. Look over here. All right, so we have another light again that'll illuminate the boo hole, but then a speaker has appeared right there for sound effects. So let's see if we can see a trigger. There's no scare actor trigger yet. It looks like a little pedal, and they'll hit the pedal and that's how the sound effect will appear, but there's nothing inside. So if we look in here, right, we're gonna have the stained glass in the shape of a cat, but now the light has appeared, which will illuminate the stained glass, which should be that same light right there. It's kind of hard to see. So the 2 lights, let's see if there's a third one. And then there's the third light that'll illuminate the stained glass. So it's the exact same lights that are being run up here that'll be illuminating the stained glass. Here we can get a better look at how the light looks. But have they added anything? They've added some broken stained glass pieces above there. Again, fitting in with the conservatory. Is that a Batmobile? What is that? Now over here, they're gonna have a new little photo op for the bad guys too. You can look like you're in the car with the whole squad. All right, so over here by the bridge, they put these beams over here. They haven't added any new beams, it looks like, but they've tightened up some stuff, moved some beams, but slowly but surely, they're getting it done. You can see they've finished the lower roof now, and they've added some details to the facade for the rumored HHN Chains house over there. So we can see on the tent it says Mecca. Mecca is the one who builds all these houses. Well, builds most of the houses, but they build a lot of stuff for Universal. They're a third-party company, but they do great work. Dolls looks about the same since the last time we saw it. They might be done. What's happening inside the party zone? Nothing. Nothing's changed. Nothing new with the rumored tribute store. They did block off this area. So this was open a couple days ago, but now it's all blocked off. It does look like the Mummy is down right now, so they have some games out to play with the guests. But let's head in. Something's happening. A tarp is stuck underneath the door. I don't know why that's like that. But again, they're still actively working in there. I haven't seen this shirt. $35. 100th anniversary Monster Ball 1931. You're gonna have Creature and the Mummy dancing, the Bride and Frankie, and then Dracula and Dracula's Bride. They're drilling something. I just talked to one of you guys, and apparently there's a crack in the ride track for the Mummy coaster.
It is time for double Murdy tweet time. I want you guys to write down in the comments. Will Murdy bring up Slash in a tweet?
I think it's John Murdy right there. John.
So then John wanted to talk a little more about Ozzy Osbourne. My introduction to Black Sabbath was back in junior high, when a guy at a school assembly preached that I would go to hell if I listened to their music. When the school bell rang, I immediately walked to my local record shop, Lavelle's, in Witter, and bought every album I could. I later wrote an entire research paper that wasn't a school assignment defending the band and trying to convince my teacher, ironically named Mrs. Osbourne, their music wasn't satanic, their songs were cautionary tales. Years later, I met Sharon Osbourne in a polo lounge of the Beverly Hills Hotel. We made a deal to bring Black Sabbath to HHN in an original house I wrote to celebrate their music and the release of the band's reunion album, 13. Sharon was lovely and true to her word. I flew to Austin, Texas to pitch Ozzy and the band my concept in their dressing room before their first gig. I watched their soundtrack in an empty arena, marveling at how he could easily step back into songs that inspired me as a kid. Ozzy and his family, along with Geezer Butler, came to HHN that year, and I took them through their house. Ozzy, who was super funny and quick-witted, had a blast, goofing in every scene. When we came out of the house, thousands of fans were waiting in line chanting Ozzy. Later that year, I met Slash at HHN, who had come for the first time to experience the Black Sabbath house since he was a huge fan. That chance meeting turned into a creative partnership that had lasted more than a decade, and I owe that to Sabbath and Ozzy. The night Ozzy came to HHN, he asked the driver to stop the car as he was about to drive away and called me over. He gave me a hug, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "Thank you, John. Thank you, Ozzy, for inspiring a kid to pursue his dreams of being part of his nightmares."
We're at Citywalk now. I know it kind of looks like a toddler playing in the dirt, where they're just moving dirt around, but there's a reason. Slowly leveling out all the land, still moving the dirt, but then this pathway has been pushed back even further, and this has been kind of leveled out now. See, there was a couple lumps yesterday, but now we have this giant pile, and eventually they'll level it out over there. All right, I've not been to the NBC Sports Grill in a while. Let's see if they've had anything new.
All right, so there's a new burger they added about 2 weeks ago. It's the Birria Bistro Burger, half-pound flame grilled beef patty, house-made birria, braised beef, melted cheese, onions, cilantro on a toasted brioche bun. So let's see how the burger is first, and then we will do a little dipping.
All right, a little dip.
Tender, juicy burger, great brioche bun, great flavor profile in there. It's not a 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna do like a 9 out of 10. If you're here at NBC, it's just standard good bar food, nothing insane, but it gets the job done.
It is time for a new section of Super Nintendo World merch to go over. Time for the wall of action figures. $30, you can pick up a Mario action figure. Also for $30, you can pick up Luigi. And then $30 for Princess Peach. $33, only $3 more, for a 6-inch Bowser figure. $40 for this figure. $40 for that. $34, they have this little set with the Piranha Plant, Mario, and Bowser Jr. And then also $40, they're gonna have this figure of Yoshi. Pretty solid sculpt on that one. $34 for this 4-pack of Luigi, Mario, Peach, and Yoshi. $37 for the Piranha Plant figure. Another section complete.
All right, we're heading back to the office now. We're gonna talk about the heavily rumored stuff going on with Stay and Scream. A lot of you guys are freaking out from the last video because I just said it, stuff was changing. So we're gonna talk about the heavily rumored changes to be happening with Stay and Scream this year. Okay guys, we're back in the office. So let's talk about kind of the changes that I've been hearing about Stay and Scream and how it's potentially gonna operate this year. Again, Universal has not announced anything. They're still kind of figuring out where the cues and the lines and everything for that is gonna go. But the rumor this year is pretty much, if you've ever been to Universal Studios Hollywood for HHN, they kind of had this wristband system where when when you get in early, right, if you have a park ticket and you're going to HHN, you can pick up a wristband at a certain time, which then will kind of allow you to experience, you know, kind of the overflow period, and then you can kind of wait for a house that you want to go to at a certain time. Like the houses will open at a certain time, then you can enter into those houses. So the rumor is that Universal might be going away with those big holding pens, because it just became too much of a disaster last year. People were going into this house and then this house, and the lines were all over the place. And the rumor is this year that they're going to go to a wristband system, and then you'll be able to kind of queue up for your house that you want to walk into. We're going to have more information a little closer to HHN, but that's kind of the internal rumor right now with how Stay and Scream is going to operate. It's going to be through a wristband system instead of kind of a holding pen. But guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
I love the family.
Because I'm going to keep you up to date on all things Universal Studios and Halloween Horror Nights around the country. I love you all, and I'll see y'all very soon.
Yes, 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 yes.
Also for 30, you can pick up